ஊரெல்லாம் உழைச்சி கஷ்டப்பட்டு சம்பாதிக்கிறதுக்கு இதுக்கு தான். பேண்டமிக்கில் 2020 லாக்டவுனில் ஜஸ்ட் randomly in the middle of the lockdown I quit my job. அந்த ஸ்டெப் எடுக்காமே if you're just sitting in one place and say ஐயோ I want to do this, I want to do this, ஆகாது. If you want to do something, go get it. எல்லாரும் பண்ணுற மாதிரியே நம்மளும் பண்ணிங்கன்னா if everyone follows அந்த அதே ரேட் ரேஸ் எல்லாரும் ஓடினானா there's no difference between you and the other person, right? Actually in journey பார்த்தீங்கன்னா like I lost my dad when I was in 11th, and then after that I did my UG, PG. I worked as a professor in college and I went on to work for an investment bank. Immediately switched from investment banking to idli. உங்கள் மெனு வந்துட்டு doesn't have to be 10 pages long, you don't have to serve 200 dishes, எதுவும் அவசியம் இல்லை. ஸோ நீங்கள் எவ்வளோ சிம்பிளாக பண்ணுறீங்களோ you will be able to focus on other things.
இப்போ மார்க்கெட் கேட்கலையா? கஸ்டமர்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு சட்னி தான் தரீங்க, சாம்பார் தரதில்லை அப்படின்னு கேட்குறது இல்லையா?
As I said, right, நீங்கள் do few products, do it well so that people don't want to ask other things. நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஆப்பிள் தரேன் நீங்கள் சாப்பிடுவீங்க, 2 ஆப்பிள் தருவேன் சாப்பிடுவீங்க, 3 ஆப்பிள் தருவேன் கஷ்டப்பட்டு சாப்பிடுவீங்க. I keep giving you more and more apples கொடுத்துட்டே இருப்பேன் உங்களுக்கு நான். You will lose its value. ஒரு தடவை நீங்கள் கண்டிப்பாக நீங்கள் ஃபெயில் ஆகணும் வாழ்க்கையில். It's a combination of both. That's how you create synergy. 2 + 2 is 5. That's a synergy that you create. என்னால் முடியுமா நான் பண்ணுவேன், என்கிட்ட காசு இருக்கா நான் பண்ணுவேன், இன்னொருத்தருக்கு இம்ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கோசரம் I will not do anything. People should come to you for the food. People should not come to you for any sort of marketing strategies or promotion. If you start doing all of that, right, that day you have failed as a restaurant itself. இப்போ நீங்கள் சுதர்சன் கணபதின்னு சொல்கிறீங்க, you have 374K, 375K followers on Instagram na, in that crowd there are people who idolize you. யாரா வேணா இருங்க, மேல் ஜாதி கீழ் ஜாதி, your income, economic status, none of it matters when it comes to food, because நீங்கள் பண்ணுற பிஸ்னஸை ஒழுங்காக பண்ணுங்கள், பண்ணுற ப்ராடக்ட்டை ஒழுங்காக பண்ணுங்கள். தட் இஸ் your biggest marketing strategy. நீங்கள் ப்ராடக்ட் நல்லா பண்ணாமல் you do all other things, you will fail. அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க அதே மாதிரி you try to copy it. It may work for them but it may not work for you.
ஐயர் இட்லி ஆண்டர்ப்ரனர்ஷிப்னு பேசுகிறப்பவே எல்லாரும் டெக் சைடு தான் பேசுகிறாங்க. ஐதர் Web3 இல்லைனா AI இல்லை அதை பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் பில்ட் பண்ணுறது பற்றி பேசுகிறாங்க. ஃபுட் பிஸ்னஸ்னு எடுத்துகிட்டா கூட பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ஸ் பற்றி தான் பேசுகிறாங்களே தவிர ஃபுட் ஆஸ் அ பிஸ்னஸ் நிறைய பேர் பேசுகிறது இல்லை. நீங்கள் இட்லி கடை வச்சுருக்கீங்க, ஏன் இட்லி கடை?
Entrepreneurshipனாலே everyone thinks that it is a $1 million idea or a unicorn or a startup, people working in a glass building. That's the misconception that people have. People think that only this is entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship nu pathina it's an ocean in itself. It's a different world in itself. Small business ideas, small operations that people do. That is the core of entrepreneurship. That's how big ideas originate. Every big idea starts on a small scale, and that's how it develops. Iyer Idly kadana, I think food is my passion. So chinna vayasilende I think food has always been my passion, and always on the title on the businessman behind your name on the chinna vayasila na school padikimbodhe na second standard third standard padikimbodhe the businessman title was very powerful. And one day I always dreamt to be that, and today I am. So that's something that I'm really happy about. Everyone thinks that entrepreneurship means it is big, it is massive. No, the smallest of things neenga pannunga. Do it with your heart and dedication. Do something on your own. It could be very simple. It could just be buying up one product and selling it to another place on a very small scale. That is entrepreneurship. That is the core of entrepreneurship. Yes, no doubt, $1 million investments, ideas, all that is fine. But fundamental, the core is the idea. Is the small setup that you start off. That's where the spark begins, and that's where it all starts.
The goal is to scale.
Definitely the goal is to scale. So it's one step at a time, right? Like especially in products, scalability is very easy. Okay, you build a strong platform, you build a strong foundation. Once that is done, scalability is just a matter of time. All of right. So it's like a Chinese bamboo. Okay, so the story of Chinese bamboo is such that when you plant a Chinese bamboo, for the first few days, for the first few weeks, you nurture it, and you pour water, you take care of it really well. But you will not see the plant grow. And you will keep wondering what is happening to this plant, why is it not growing despite you taking care of it. Ana suddenly neenga pathina after a few weeks, it will start growing rapidly, even like 6 inches per day or 7 inches per day. It will grow at a rapid speed. So does that mean that for the first few days or the first few weeks it wasn't growing? No, it was definitely growing. It was building its roots. The foundation is strong. It can even withstand a cyclone, it can withstand heavy winds. So once your foundation is strong, scalability is just a matter of time. All of that. So once you get your principles correct, once you get your fundamentals correct, scalability is just a matter of time. All of that. Everyone wants to scale, especially in products. Everybody wants to scale. But for that, you need to build your base first. You need to get your foundations straight. then it becomes very easy to scale.
Right. So you're saying that you have to figure out one unit and அந்த யூனிட்டை ஃபிகர் அவுட் பண்ணியாச்சுன்னா மல்டிபிள் யூனிட்ஸ் போகிறது ஈஸி.
Yes, it is very easy. See, because from a personal standpoint, பார்த்தீங்கன்னா you will have that experience of doing that one unit, okay? And then it's all about taking that first step, அவ்வளோதான். Once you take that first step, everything else is a breeze. படிப்படியாக நீங்கள் போயிட்டே இருக்கலாம். நீங்கள் அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் எப்போதுமே எடுக்கிறது தான் கஷ்டம். Everyone thinks 100 times before they take the first step. நான் பண்ணணுமா பண்ண வேண்டாமா, like what will happen. More often than not, we worry about what would be the result than trying.
Okay.
So once you take that step, you will get that confidence. You will know that okay, fine, I've done it. And then your perspective will slowly start to change. You will start getting more ideas. Right. You will understand the product better. You will understand the business better. And then it is just a matter of growing from there.
இப்போ ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறதை பற்றி பேசுகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி we should talk about taking over a business from the previous generation.
Correct.
And which is even more difficult because you are filling someone else's shoes.
True.
So tell me about how you took over the business. படிப்படியா how did you take it over from your father and how did you come to this point?
So நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா Iyer Idly was started in 2001. So we didn't start off as an idli shop. We started off as a batter shop. நாங்கள் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மாவு வித்துட்டு இருந்தோம். ஸோ பெங்களூர்லேயே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா I think 2001ல we were one of the first, we are the pioneers to start the batter business. 2001 was like a very growing time for Bangalore. நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஸோ Bangalore landscape வந்து அப்போ தான் சேஞ்ச் ஆக ஆரம்பிச்சிச்சு. Lot of IT companies started to come to Bangalore. So a lot of people also started to come to Bangalore looking for jobs. Many companies, Intel, Texas Instruments, நிறைய companies வந்துட்டு HP, Accenture, நிறைய பேர் வந்துட்டே இருந்தாங்க பெங்களூருக்கு. Then a lot of people also started to come. Then IT culture was such that people used to work night shifts வேலை பண்ணுவாங்க. They used to work through the day and they didn't have time to cook. So நீங்கள் any business பார்த்தீங்கன்னா a business idea is derived as a solution to a problem. So here the problem is people don't have time to cook. So what is the solution? We start giving them batter. So that's how we started off that's how Iyer Idly started off. The concept of selling idli dosa batter, idli dosa maavu. So as a young boy, நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன், நான் ஸ்கூல்லேருந்து முடிச்சுட்டு வந்துட்டு I was what 9-10 years old. நான் ஸ்கூல்லேருந்து வந்துட்டு like I used to go to shops to sell batter. Packet மாவு பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. So I used to go to different shops to sell. So that was my first taste in entrepreneurship. And I began to like it because unlike other kids, like you actually get to go out, you get to do the real work, right? You get to speak to people. நீங்க கடைக்காரன்ட்ட பேசுவீங்க, you will speak to him, you will try to convince him, அவன் காசு கொடுப்பான், you will actually count, okay, ஒரு பேக்கெட்டுக்கு இவ்வளோனா like இவ்வளோ பேக்கெட் கொடுத்துருக்கேன், how much money, you actually count that money and you bring it back.
Right.
So I found that to be more empowering. I found that to be challenging. And like in talking to people, I think that's the best experience that you can get. Everyone's different. There are 8 billion people in this world. Each human is different. No two humans are the same.
Right.
So the different perspectives that each human gives you, the way each person reacts is very different, and you learn from all of that, right? You grasp one quality from each and every person, and that's how my journey in entrepreneurship appo dhaan start aachu enakku at the age of 9-10. As we grew, சின்னதாக ஒரு கடை போட்டோம். We started off in like a small 8x8 shop சைஸில் இட்லி ஆரம்பித்தோம். அப்போ வந்து 2001ல் வந்து when we started off ஒரு இட்லி வந்து ₹1 இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ ஒருத்தர் 5 இட்லி வாங்கினாங்கன்னா 5 into 1.5 they would pay ₹7.50.
Okay.
ஸோ சின்ன வேலை பண்ணுவேன் கடையில். நான் சட்னி விடுவேன், நான் கேஷ் வாங்கி போடுவேன் நான். ஸோ தட்ஸ் ஹவு தட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் grew. ஓவர் அ பீரியட் ஆஃப் டைம் நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா I started to like what I'm doing. And I always felt that like நீங்க common sense use பண்ணீங்கன்னா, see, food is an evergreen business. People need food to survive, and when they are getting quality food at an affordable price, that solves their problem. And that's how I believe in, right? Like business should be about making profits, no doubt, but it should also solve a problem. If you look at always look at it from that perspective. What are you trying to solve? நீங்க என்ன பிரச்சனை, what is the problem statement என்ன, solution என்ன? That's where you make a difference. And successful businessmen are problem solvers. நீங்க any product பாருங்க, like anything, how Zomato originated or how any business originated, there's solutions to existing problems.
Right.
And a person who comes up with a solution is the businessman. He's the entrepreneur. And that's how he differentiates himself from the rest of the crowd. எல்லாரும் அவனை மாதிரி யோசிக்க மாட்டாங்க. இப்போ இவன் ஒருத்தர் டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக யோசிச்சதுனால தான் he is successful. And that's how my journey also started. And then over a period of time I started to like learn the business more and more, get to know inside out, and and I knew that this was my place and this is what I want to do in life.
Right.
And that's how it started off for me.
My story started similarly. ஏன்னா when my mom and dad came and settled in Chennai, they started as entrepreneurs. ஒரு சின்ன எக்ஸ்போர்ட் யூனிட், டெய்லரிங் ஷாப், இது மாதிரி சின்னதாக ஆரம்பித்தாங்க. அண்ட் நான் வந்து ஸ்கூலுக்கு போகிறப்போ மார்னிங் ஸ்கூலில் போய் விட்டுருவாங்க. They go to shop and they pick me up in the afternoon, take me to the shop directly.
Exactly.
I grew up in the shop till evening. And I usually sleep early. And when they shut the shop, they wake me up and they take me home. So that was my routine every single day. So I grew up in the shop more than I grew up at home.
Exactly.
So அந்த entrepreneurship ஆனால் அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து அப்பா passed away and we had to give away the business and mom had to find a job. இதெல்லாம் நடந்தது. But even after mom took a job, எனக்கு வந்து அந்த பிஸ்னஸ் உள்ளே வளர்ந்த அந்த விஷயம் தான் ஞாபகம் வந்தது.
It's always there. ஒரு தடவை வந்துச்சுன்னா அது never it becomes a part of you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it becomes a part of you. See, I finished my schooling. அதுக்கப்புறமா I took over the business from when I was 16 years old with my mother. I went on to do 3 masters பண்ணேன் நான். I did different jobs and everything. But you can see all these changes in life, but the only thing that was constant in my life was Iyer Idly. Like I went through all of this journey, but what was there with me starting ல இருந்து இப்போ வரைக்கும் என்ன இருக்கு, அது Iyer Idly தான் இருக்கு. So I knew that okay, like this is what I want to do. So and like when you know that this is what you want, and then you will have that passion in you to say that I want to do this, நான் இதான் பண்ணணும்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா you will definitely succeed. Because to do anything, okay, you might have all the resources with you, but if you don't have that fire in you, if you don't have that urge in you to say that I want what come enna aanalum seri, I want to achieve this, right, you have that thought in you, you will definitely succeed. That's what differentiates you from other people. எல்லாரும் பண்ற மாதிரியே நம்மளும் பண்ணீங்கன்னா, if everyone follows அந்த அதே rat race எல்லாரும் ஓடுனானா, there's no difference between you and the other person, right? So you have to stand out from the crowd, you have to do something different from the others, and your idea, your passion, your urge to do that, your urge to learn, use your skills comes into place. Actually in journey pathina, like I lost my dad when I was in 11th, and then after that I did my UG PG. I worked as a professor in college, then I went on to work for an investment bank, and then somewhere I felt that okay, what am I doing? Like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? No, I want to make a difference. Immediately switched from investment banking to Idli. Everyone was shocked, like peak pandemic 2020 lockdown la, just randomly in the middle of the lockdown I quit my job. Middle of the lockdown, everything was shut. People didn't even know what was happening. It was the first experience for everyone in lockdown. Veetukulle adanju kadakra, the first experience for everybody. And then I said okay, fine, we will explore, we will like neenga risk edutha dhaan and oru step edutha dhaan you know what is ahead of you. And the step edukame, if you're just sitting in one place and say I want to do this, I want to do this, if you want to do something, go get it. You don't have to make drastic changes in an existing business,
right?
Even the smallest things that you do will have a huge impact. For example, 2020 lockdown in pathina, everybody, the entire world was stuck at home, and people, all of them had that urge to come out. வீட்டிலே உட்காந்துட்டு ஒரு மாதிரி வெறி பிடிச்சி செல்ல இருக்கும், லைக் ஏன்னா இப்படியே இருக்கேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு everybody wanted to go out. And that's when people started to explore restaurants, right? Because they were tired of eating the same old home food at home for like almost 2-3 months. So everyone wanted to go out. Edha pudusa da try pannalaanu solittu everybody wanted to go out. That was the first time in my life I opened Instagram. Okay. Until 2020 I didn't know what social media was, I didn't know what Instagram was, right? To be very honest, nijama solren nanu. And I slowly started posting 1-2 pictures of our food, and then like it started to get traction. Because see, our business is 25 years old. But in social media, we are just hardly 3-4 years old. Right. Until then, like I'm a very old school person. The reason why my business has grown or is growing also is only because of organic growth. No sort of paid promotion, marketing, adala edu illa. Like people will come, they will like it, they will tell 2-3 people, word of mouth la, we grow. And that Instagram thing was like somewhat a kind of opportunity for me, just to explore. Even right. For me as an individual also, I didn't have a personal account also. Instagram, social media ne enna theriyada vaaldhavan nanu. That changed a lot of things. I started to connect with a lot of people, a lot of food bloggers, a lot of customers. People started to come, and that's how the word started to spread. See, you might be doing a good job, you might be you would be good at what you're at, but you need someone to let the world know that you're doing a good job. And that's when that social media kind of helped me,
right?
So food bloggers vandanga, nariya food bloggers, various from India and from abroad, nariya food bloggers vandanga. They started to shoot, and they started to hear our story, our family story, and the food that we serve. Because I believe in simple food, easy. Generally business la vandu you keep it as simple as possible, your running your business becomes very easy,
right?
ஸோ ஃபுட்டில் வந்துட்டு ஐ பிலீவ் இன் ஒன் கான்செப்ட், டூ ஃபியூ திங்ஸ் பட் டூ இட் வெல். உங்கள் மெனு வந்துட்டு டசன்ட் ஹேவ் டு பி 10 pages லாங், யூ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் டு சர்வ் 200 dishes, எதுவும் அவசியம் இல்லை. டூ 2-3 things போதும், 2-3 ஐட்டம் பண்ணுங்க, பட் புட் யுவர் ஹார்ட் அண்ட் சோல் இன்டு இட். Enough. That will help you to retain quality, retain customers, and then it will also help you scale. So that's how an overall business will overall grow. Your customers know you will retain your old customers, you will be able to scale effectively also, and at the same time you will have your quality in check. நீங்கள் 40-50 items பண்ணீங்கன்னா you will definitely not be able to, I'm not saying that you will not be able to, but it will be a challenge to maintain quality. And you won't have an identity for yourself. இப்போ நீங்கள் ஒரு ஹோட்டலில் போனீங்கன்னா you ask him, sir, what are you good at னா, நீங்கள் இங்கே என்ன சார் ஸ்பெஷல்னா அவன் யோசிப்பான், because he has 50-60 items in his menu, என்ன சொல்கிறது யோசிப்பான். But when you have 2-3 things, you will know what you are good at. You can proudly tell, okay, எங்கள் கடையில் இட்லி தான் ஃபேமஸ், எங்கள் கடையில் வடை தான் ஃபேமஸ், you can tell that. இப்போ ரத்னா கேஃப் எல்லாரும் போய் என்ன சாப்பிட்றாங்க, சாம்பார் பக்கெட் மக்காக சாம்பார் சாப்பிட்றாங்க. ஐ ரிமெம்பர், ஐ ஹேவ் வெரி ஃபாண்ட் மெமரிஸ் ஆஃப் ரத்னா கேஃபே இன் சென்னை. நான் இங்கே வந்து ஸ்கூல் படிக்கும்போது ஐ யூஸ் டு கம் ஃபார் வெக்கேஷன் இயர், ரத்னா கேஃபேக்கு போவேன் நான். I used to get so fascinated because மக்கில் 2 இட்லிக்கு 2 மக்கு சாம்பார் அவ்வளோ நெய் ஊற்றி சாப்பிடுவாங்க. You need to create identity for yourself, and your products will help you do that. So when you have limited products, creating that identity becomes very easy. Keep your business as simple as possible. It doesn't have to be sophisticated, it doesn't have to be complicated, because your business should be easy to run. நீங்கள் வெளியே வந்து the glamorous side, all that is okay, but internally, only when your business is easy to run and you know your business in and out, you will be able to do anything with it.
It's totally okay to go into a market in a specific niche.
Yes.
And over a period of time, you will have to introduce other things. இல்லைனா ஒரு டைம் ரொம்ப சின்னதாக இருக்கும்ல.
100%. நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு see, that's the challenge with business இல்லை. You have to keep evolving to what the market is. Okay. Especially with consumers, நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா customers வந்து, a customer's taste is never the same. So what is trending and viral today will not be trending and viral tomorrow.
True.
So it's a bubble. So it keeps changing. So aduk thanda mari you have to evolve. For example, I spoke about social media. I had to get into the social media world because that's the only way I had to get attention to promote my business in a way. Next, online. For the first 20 years or 21 years of our business, we were never tied up with Swiggy or Zomato or any online aggregator, as a matter of fact. பண்ணவே இல்லை, because we believed in, I was under the impression that okay fine, customers கடைக்கு வரணும், இங்கே தான் வந்து வாங்கிட்டு போகணும், இல்லை பார்சல் வாங்கிட்டு போகணும், சாப்பிட்டு போகணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு. Then you realize that a lot of people, there are a group of people, a set of customers who wouldn't want to come out for whatsoever reason, either they're busy with work or they're too far, but they still want to try your food. And Swiggy, Zomato was bridging that gap. So I tied up with online aggregators on Ganapathy. So what I'm trying to say is, you can't be rigid. You have to be flexible according to what the market is. So if something else is trending, and if that's what the customer wants, you have to do it. You have to do it, because if you have to survive, because in the world, in today's world, competition is cutthroat. Raising capital has become extremely easy today. Everybody wants to start a business. Whether there is scope for growth or whether there is already enough players in the market, yet people want to invest money and come. Everybody wants a piece of a cake. So அந்த இதில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, unless and until you don't evolve, unless and until you don't differentiate yourself between others, you need to have a USP, unique selling proposition. If you don't have a definite USP, you will just be like others in the crowd. USP can be anything. Product la USP irkalam. It can be in the entrepreneur himself can be the USP.
Right.
Yeah, or it can be even the way you do marketing or the way you formulate your strategies. It could be anything, but there has to be something to differentiate you from the others. It could be even in terms of service also, the way you give service. இப்போ எல்லாரும் கொடுக்குற மாதிரி நீங்கள் சர்வீஸ் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா, there's nothing different between you and them, right? So இப்போ எங்கள் கடையில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, we don't serve சாம்பார், one chutney, அவ்வளோதான். நீங்கள் இட்லி வாங்க, வடை வாங்க, anything, whatever you buy, you just get one type of chutney.
Okay.
Standardization. In terms of that leads to a lot of operational efficiency also. You save a lot of time also. And as a businessman, right, your thinking should be you should be forward looking. You should spend more of your time thinking on strategies, on how to improve the business, not on operational dilemmas, not on operational nitty-gritties. So நீங்க எவ்வளோக்கு சிம்பிளா பண்றீங்களோ, you will be able to focus on other things.
இப்போ மார்க்கெட் கேட்கலையா, கஸ்டமர்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு சட்னி தான் தரீங்க, சாம்பார் தரதில்லை அப்படின்னு கேட்குறது இல்லையா?
As I said, right, நீங்கள் do few products, Do it well so that people don't want to ask other things.
ரைட்.
Don't give him that opportunity. நீங்கள் இந்த சட்னி நல்லா பண்ணீங்க, then you will ask, சார் சாம்பார் இல்லையா சார், சார் அந்த சட்னி இல்லையா சார். பட் வித் த ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் தட் யூ ஆர் சர்விங், இஃப் தட் only is good, அதே நல்லா இருந்துச்சுன்னா, you don't give him an opportunity to ask for something else.
Right.
So that's how you excel. That you need to create that excellence there only. You know, you should, I'm not saying trick the customer, you should, என்ன சொல்றது, you should impress the customer in such a way that you don't give him a second, ஒரு நிமிஷம் கூட உங்களுக்கு யோசிக்க கூடாது. Like, I wish I had something else on my plate சொல்லிட்டு. He should come only for this. You do it well and he'll come only for that.
So you're saying two things. One, if you're quality driven, the market will not remember what others offer. They will remember only what you offer, and they'll come to you only for what you offer.
Yes.
And ரெண்டாவது, always ask the market what they want. The market is the market ன்னு சொல்கிறீங்க.
Correct.
Iyer Idly is only in Bangalore.
ஆமாம்.
But Tamil Nadu is the actual இட்லி மார்க்கெட். இட்லி இங்கே தான் நிறைய பேர் வந்து சாப்பிட்றோம். ஏன் பெங்களூர் வச்சுருக்கீங்க, ஏன் தமிழ்நாட்டில் இல்லை?
See, it is basic economics, okay? Demand and supply, okay? So நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, see, idli as a food is more staple in Tamil Nadu than it is in Karnataka. I'm not saying that it is not, it definitely is, but it is more staple in a state like Tamil Nadu. So இங்கே வந்து there's already the supply is more, so you can't expect the demand also to be more. So we work on the principle of demand and supply. So எங்கே ஜாஸ்தி நிறைய demand இருக்கோ, you place a product there, it will be well appreciated. Like economics is something called as diminishing marginal utility.
Right.
Okay, நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஆப்பிள் தரேன், நீங்கள் சாப்பிடுவீங்க, 2 ஆப்பிள் தருவேன் சாப்பிடுவீங்க, 3ஆவது ஆப்பிள் தருவேன் கஷ்டப்பட்டு சாப்பிடுவீங்க. ஐ கீப் கிவிங் யூ மோர் அண்ட் மோர் ஆப்பிள்ஸ் கொடுத்துட்டே இருப்பேன் உங்களுக்கு நான், யூ வில் லூஸ் இட்ஸ் வேல்யூ. ஸோ அதனால, ஸோ வேர் தெர் இஸ் மோர் டிமாண்ட், யூனோ யூ பிளேஸ் அ ப்ராடக்ட் தேர், இட் வில் பி வெல் அப்ரிஷியேட்டட் அண்ட் யோர் ப்ராடக்ட் வில் த்ரைவ். அந்த அருணாச்சலம் படத்தில் அவர் சொல்லுவார், ரஜினிகாந்த் ஃப்ளாஷ்பேக் சொல்லும்போது, அவர் ரஜினிகாந்த் அப்பாவுக்கு தெரியாமல் சுருட்டு அடித்தார். ஸோ அப்பா என்ன பண்ணுவார், அவர் ரூமுக்குள்ளே ஒரு கூட்டி போயிட்டு ரூம் ஃபுல்லாக சுருட்டு இருக்கும், அவர்கிட்ட சொல்லுவார், நாளைக்கு காலையிலக்குள்ளே எல்லாம் சுருட்டு ஃபுல்லாக யூ ஹேவ் டு ஸ்மோக் எவ்ரி திங் சொல்லிட்டு, ரஜினிகாந்த் வில் ஸ்மோக் எவ்ரி திங் and then வெளியே வந்துட்டு you will tell, I don't like the smell of it at all. So when you have too much of something, right, you will get bored of it, you will not appreciate its value. Right. So that's the basic principle that we work with, and it will definitely work. Any product நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா, as I said, right, it is a solution to business ideas are nothing but solutions to your problems.
Right.
So demand is a problem, supply is a solution. Right. Apply it there and it will work. Not just with idli, with any product it will work, or any service also it will work.
Right. So தமிழ்நாட்டில் ஏற்கனவே நிறைய இட்லி ஈஸி அவைலபிளாக இருக்குது, வீட்டில் கூட இட்லி சாப்பிட்றாங்கன்றதுனால எதுக்கு கடைக்கு போகணுன்றது.
Exactly. A lot of people will think twice, right? And if you see on the India as a country, பார்த்தீங்கன்னா is a very culturally diverse country. There's something called as PPP, purchasing power parity. Like a lot of people will be like, okay, எப்படி நான் வீட்டில் I'm doing this, no, why will I want to go out? And இப்போ நீங்கள் நார்த் இந்தியா போயிட்டு நீங்கள் வந்து நார்த் இந்தியன்ஸ் வந்து ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்ஸ் வந்து will not go out to eat roti and sabji, ஏன்னா அவங்க வீட்டிலே கிடைக்கும் உங்களுக்கு. So something that is easily available to you, you will not look unless and until the product is vastly different. நீங்கள் இட்லிலேயே வந்து ஏதாவது டிசைன் பண்ணி கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா, okay, then he might go and try. But if it is the same old food, right, like people will be like, okay, I'm getting it at home, why would I want to go out?
Right.
So that's the like thought process with people, because like each state in India is different, the way people think, and that's the beauty of India. Neenga pathina, people are culturally different, like the way they think, the cultures, the background, it's a very beautiful thing, concept. Adu pesa pona manikur kanakla pesite irukla, but yeah, that's how our business works. Yeah,
3 மாஸ்டர்ஸ் டிகிரி, ப்ரொஃபஸராக வேலை பார்த்துருக்கீங்க, தென் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் பேங்கர் அட் கோல்ட்மேன் சாக்ஸ், அப்புறம் இட்லி கடை. இது என்ன கரியர் கிராஃப்?
I mean, studies because of family. See, I come from a family wherein like they believe that avanga padikala, at least pasangala padikkanum solittu. So enga amma wanted me to study more, so I wanted to fulfill her wish. I studied. Also neenga and the generation parents pathina, they believe that according to them illa avanga definition of success is very different. They believe success is like a stable job or like a 9 to 5 job. வீட்டுக்கு கேப் வரும் பையனை பிக் பண்ணுறதுக்கு, கிளாஸ் பில்டிங், பெரிய பெரிய கிளாஸ் பில்டிங்கில் my son will work in 15th floor, 20th floor. So that is their definition of success. There's nothing wrong with it, because they come from a different generation, we come from a different generation. They have not seen the world as much as நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கிற மாதிரி அவங்க பார்த்துருக்க மாட்டாங்க. There's nothing wrong with it. So and that is my mother's wish, that என் பையன் இப்படி வேலை பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு I didn't want to disappoint her. So I said, okay, fine. நான் படித்தேன், நான் வேலை பண்ணேன். And then I told her, அம்மா பாருங்கம்மா, உங்கள் ஆசை நான் நிறைவேற்றிட்டேன். நான் இனிமே this is what I want to do, this is what I've been waiting to do. இவ்வளோ வருஷமாக I was waiting to do this, but I did. உங்கள் ஆசை நான் நிறைவேற்றிட்டேன், but now henceforth please let me do what I want to do. So I கேட்டேன். ஆப்வியஸ்லி எல்லா அம்மாமாரும் ஸ்டார்டிங்கில் எதுவும் ஒத்துக்க மாட்டாங்க. தமிழ் சீரியல் மாதிரி தான் அழுக, அது ட்ராமா, அது இதில் கண்ணீர் அதெல்லாம் வரும். And then eventually she got convinced. And then she said, okay, fine, you can take it forward and we'll see how it works. And it worked out well because I brought about a lot of changes in terms of production, in terms of efficiency. Like it was different from the way how she used to manage versus how I manage now. And I used all my education, my experience, I used all of that. I created a structure, I created a hierarchy, a chain of command, logistics, production, எல்லாம் ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரீம்லைன் பண்ணிங்கன்னா, like a process நீங்கள் ஸ்ட்ரீம்லைன் பண்ணிங்கன்னா operations become really easy. Right. And then you as an entrepreneur can focus on the bigger things. You can focus on expansion, you can focus on product diversification. You don't have to worry about small things. Right. The day-to-day பிரச்சனை நீங்கள் சால்வ் பண்ணிங்கனாவே 80% of your business is succeeded. Right. Because that's the core. நீங்கள் அந்த ஃபண்டமெண்டல் ப்ராப்ளமே உங்களால் சால்வ் பண்ண முடியலன்னா யூ கேனாட் கோ ஃபார்வர்ட். யூ வில் பி ஸ்டக் இன் தட் வித்தின் தோஸ் 4 walls of problems only. ஸோ நீங்கள் அதை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் யூ ஸ்பெண்ட் சம் டைம், கெட் இட் ஆன் ஆட்டோ பைலட் மோட். ஆட்டோ பைலட் மோட்லனா ஈவன் இஃப் யூ ஆர் நாட் தேர், த பிஸ்னஸ் ஷுட் ரன் as லைக் ஹவு யூ ஆர். நீங்கள் இல்லாத போது ஓடணும், நீங்கள் எப்படி இருப்பீங்களோ அதே மாதிரி தான் ஓடணும் அது. ஸோ ஸ்பெண்ட் சம் டைம், spend 2-3 years to get it. That's how I did. I spent about a good 2.5 years to get the fundamentals correct, to establish processes, to set the foundation straight. Once that was done, I could just focus on thinking of my second outlet and then third outlet, and that's how you grow. So that's something that my work experience taught me. Corporate teaches you brilliant things in terms of your communication, how to be organized, how to plan, like how to plan for contingencies. So you learn all that and you apply those skill sets in your business. That's how you will learn. Right. நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு ஒரே ரோட்டில் போயிட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா you will not know how it is. True. You have to fail. எல்லாத்தையும் தான் சொல்லுவேன் நான், ஒரு தடவை நீங்கள் கண்டிப்பாக நீங்கள் ஃபெயில் ஆகணும் வாழ்க்கையில். Only then you will learn. Because if you have that rosy path, that when everything is fine, when it's good, okay, but I'm not saying it's bad. But when an actual failure hits you, you will not know how to react at that point of time. True. So the earlier you fail, the better it is for you. Because the next time you try பண்ணும்போது, you'll be a more experienced person. You will know what it is that when you've already failed, and you will not make that same mistake again. So I'd say failing at the age of 20 is much more, far better than failing at the age of 50. Because at the age of 20, you have a long life ahead of you. நீ கீழே விழுந்தா கூட you can actually get up, you can just dust yourself and recover and then move on. Very true. But after 50, if you fail, it becomes, you're mentally like you're disturbed. Right. Because you don't know how long you're going to live for. Right. Okay, you don't know like what it is going to be like, and you won't have that that maturity or that thinking to say like, how do I deal with failures? Right. So the younger generation has a lot to learn from the older generation. Similarly, older generation has a lot to learn from younger generation also. So it's like a mix of both, and that's how business succeeds. Right. So my mother's experience, my skill sets. So a good business is it's a combination of both. That's how you create synergy. 2 + 2 is 5. That's a synergy that you create. So only with that the scale will be small. Only with my skill sets and with lack of experience, I may not be able to go forward. Right. Only when these two come together is when the business actually grows.
If you scale the business with the existing mistakes, eventually you will fail at scale also.
100%.
So ஆரம்பத்திலே வந்து process systems ready பண்ணிட்டு
அதுக்கப்புறம் get your fundamentals strong, sir. See, every business should have certain principles and certain fundamentals. At any point of time, never compromise on your principles and fundamentals. Adha mukyam. That is a foundation, okay? Once you get those correct, anything that you do will be a success.
Right. So the goal is not to scale, it's to scale right.
Scale right, exactly. Okay. And scale right, and always take it one day at a time.
Right.
நீங்கள் வந்து ஓவர் நைட்லி ஒபாமா ஆகணும்னா அது சத்தியமாக முடியாது அதில். ஸோ யூ டேக் ஒன் டே அட் அ டைம், யூ என்ஜாய் த ப்ராசஸ், யூ லேர்ன் திங்ஸ், யூ அப்சார்ப் வாட்ஸ் அரவுண்ட் யூ. தென் யூ வில், வித் எவ்ரி ஸ்டெப் தட் யூ டேக், யூ வில் ஹேவ் மோர் கிளாரிட்டி. நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு லைக் வித்தவுட் சம்மன் நோயிங் ஸ்விம்மிங், யூ ஜஸ்ட் த்ரோ them in an ocean, then obviously they'll drown. But logic says that when you are thrown at an ocean, you will not drown because the water is saline. It has so much salt that you will not drown. That's right. Buoyancy, physics. Right. So once you understand that, you will not drown. But as theriyama, you just when you just throw someone into the ocean, like their first instinct is survival.
Right.
So business should not be only about survival. It should be about sailing through. It should be about growing.
See, நீங்க அப்பவே சொன்ன மாதிரி வந்து access to capital has become very easy now. And you come from investment banking background. Though you come from investment banking background, you are bootstrapped. Why?
Simple personal reason enna, I don't want to be answerable to other investors. I don't want to be answerable to anyone as a matter of fact. You are the entrepreneur, you know your business in and out, you should be answerable to yourself. People are ready to invest. Any business, people have money now. Neenga sonna madri access to capital has become very easy now. Banks give you loans, government gives you loans and subsidies. People themselves have so much money that they don't enna panna kaas avlo kaas irukku, people don't know what to do with it. Invest பண்றதுக்கு ரெடியா இருப்பாங்க. People have money but they don't understand how business works. So at that point of time, business may do good, may not do good, and you become in a situation where you'll have to answer, you become answerable to them. And I don't want to be in that situation. Om manasakshiki, you answer that podum. You don't have to prove yourself, or you don't have to answer, to others. Personally என் பாலிசி வந்து என்னால் முடியுமா நான் பண்ணுவேன், என்கிட்ட காசு இருக்கா நான் பண்ணுவேன், இன்னொருத்தருக்கு இம்ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கோசரம் I will not do anything. Because you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You have not come into this world to prove yourself to others.
Right.
You are answerable to yourself. Are you answerable to your conscience? போதும். கண்ணாடியில் உன் மூஞ்சி பார்த்தா you should feel good. That's it.
Right.
Nothing else matters. Absolutely nothing else matters. நீ வந்து ஐயோ அவங்க இப்படி நினைப்பாங்க, ஐயோ அப்படி நினைப்பாங்க. There are 8 billion people in this world. 800 கோடி பேர் ஒருத்தர் நினைக்கிறத if you start sitting and worrying about it, you will keep worrying for the rest of your life. For you to enjoy the journey in business, for you to enjoy the journey in entrepreneurship, take the positives from what others give. People give you good vibes, people give you positivity, adu eduthukanga. When you feel that that you are getting negativity, when you see the negative things around you, just learn to ignore.
Right.
And move on. நீங்க அதே இடத்துல அதே அங்கேயே நீங்க if you are stuck there, you will not come out.
உங்களோட வேல்யூ சிஸ்டம்ல வந்து ஃப்ரீடம், இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ்லாம் வந்து டாப்ல இருக்கு.
Yeah, and simple living freedom. And as I said, நான் ஸ்டார்டிங்கா சொன்னேன்ல, every business should be based on certain fundamentals and principles.
Right.
Okay, stick to those and your business, your principles and your business principles can be the same. Okay, and if you stick to those principles, your business will grow, and as an individual you will also grow.
Right. So your principles and your business principles can be the same, 100%. Provided it's bootstrapped.
It's bootstrapped. Yes.
Yeah.
It's bootstrapped. I'm not saying that there's wrong, like in going to investors. Yes, you can. But it's my personal opinion. Okay? See, a lot of businesses thrive on investment, investors. Absolutely right. No doubt about it. But it is my personal opinion. Right. Like I have not come in a situation where I have to go look for investors. Maybe if I do in the future for whatsoever reason, then we'll see at that point of time. But now I believe in that, ennaala mudinja na pannuven nanu. Podum. And it doesn't have to be big, as I said. Like you can run a business worth 10,000 rupees, and if you make a margin of like 50%, your profit is 5,000 rupees. It's better than having a turnover of 1 crore and having your expense of 99 lakhs 99,000. It's not your 1,000 rupees profit for a 1 crore business is not worth the effort.
Right.
Instead, you do a 10,000 rupees business, adla 5,000 rupees profit pannunga. There you'll be able to scale up.
Right.
You'll be able to scale up much more because your profit margin is 50%. True. There your profit margin is hardly like 0.1%. That's right. All. So, yenga profit margin jaasti irko, there is more opportunity for scaling up. Definitely, your scalability is feasible in such areas where your margin is more. And at the end of the day, business is all about numbers. It's all about profit margin. It's not about how many crores of turnover you make. At the end, bottom figure, profit margin, evlo. Adha matter. Even if your idea is very small, doesn't matter. Make it profitable.
Right.
Make it profitable. People think that only large businesses make large profits because that's the size. Small businesses make more profits actually. Their profit margin is much more than your larger businesses. People don't realize that. Because see, we humans often tend to get carried away by appearance. So we see a big glass building, we're like, okay, periya business nanipom. But actually, chinna business pandravana, he'll make more money. For example, நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா மும்பைல the local train. Local train is like the heart of, like the heartbeat of Mumbai. Like for like how you have MRTS or suburban railing in Chennai. Mumbaiல, that's the biggest mode of transportation. Time taken to travel from destination A to destination B is like about 45 minutes to 1 hour. Mumbai is a very fast city. காலையில் உட்காந்து எல்லாம் சமைச்சிட்டு இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ தே ஜஸ்ட் வாண்ட் திங்ஸ் ஆன் த கோ. ஸோ நீங்கள் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா லைக் 45 மினிட்ஸ் நீங்கள் வந்து ட்ரெயினில் சும்மா உட்காந்துருக்க மாட்டீங்க. யூ வில் ஃபீல் லைக் மன்ச்சிங் சம்திங், ஏதாவது பண்ணணும்னு தோணும் உங்களுக்கு. ஸோ சமோசா கை கம்ஸ், ஹி வில் செல் 1 சமோசா டு யூ ஃபார் 5 rupees. அவன் கூட நிறைய சமோசா கொண்டு வருவான், 500 சமோசா கொண்டு வருவான் அவன். In a span of 1-2 hours, he'll finish the entire thing and he will full cash business. So he's earned 500, for example, we're selling 500 samosas for 5 rupees each, he's earned 2,500 rupees. என்ன பண்ணுவான், there's a huge central kitchen. So he will buy 1 samosa for 2 rupees or 2.5 rupees and he'll sell it for 5 rupees here. He makes a profit margin of more than 50%. For him, he has scale. ஒரு நாளைக்கு ஒரு சமோசாக்கு 2 ரூபாய் ப்ராஃபிட்னா ஒரு நாளைக்கு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 10,000 சமோசா விற்றான்னா he makes 25,000 rupees per day profit. All cash. he doesn't know the spelling of income tax.
Right.
Nothing. அவனுக்கு என்ன கேஷ் கொடுத்து சமோசா வாங்கணும், கஸ்டமருக்கு கொடுக்கணும், கேஷ் வாங்கணும். That's his principal model. Very simple business model.
Right.
He makes money. So it doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be fancy. The smallest of ideas, the simplest of ideas, that's where the money is.
See, today in social media, people have made entrepreneurship very fancy.
Ama. Yes.
So I think we should break that.
100%. அதான் சொல்கிறேன்ல. See, there is much more to life than social media.
Right.
The reality is not social media. Social media வந்து people post the glamorous things.
Yep.
People glorify everything on social media, but reality வேணா நீங்கள் வெளியே போய் பாருங்க. You will get to know the reality.
Right. So basically we show people what they want to see. It's not the other way around.
It's not the other way around. It's not what the reality is.
Yep.
Imagine a samosa seller makes so much money and his business model is so simple. I want people to think like that. I'm not saying sell samosas, but I'm just saying like you make your model, you make your business model so easy to execute. So that there are not many operational challenges. Okay, what is the biggest operational challenge that samosa seller would find?
Central kitchen.
Probably like a central kitchen, or like, okay, if not one, another central kitchen is
Right.
there. Maybe it will rain. Or maybe like, on a day when, there are not many people in the train. So small, these are all small challenges. But if you see, like, there are no larger challenges are not there. So that's how, I would like people to, like come up with ideas or to execute ideas. Keep it very simple. நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு like the simpler the business idea is, the easier it is to run, and for an entrepreneur, for a businessman also, your life becomes easy.
True.
Because at the end of the day, your mental health also is important, is equally important. Okay, நீங்கள் வந்து business as simple as possible பண்ணீங்கன்னா you will be at peace. In one of my interviews also, my last statement of the interview was, as long as I get 3 meals to sleep and I go to get bed peacefully at night, that is life. பாய்ஸ் படத்தில் செந்தில் சொல்கிற மாதிரி ஊரெல்லாம் உழைச்சி கஷ்டப்பட்டு சம்பாதிக்கிறதுக்கு இதுக்கு தான் மாதிரி இட்ஸ் you're doing only for this, right? You are answerable to yourself. Get yourself 3 meals with family, go to bed peacefully at night. You wouldn't want anything more in life.
Right.
Rest everything else can wait.
Since I come from marketing background, உங்ககிட்ட கேட்கணும்னு நினச்சேன். உங்களோட மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜிஸ்லாம் செம்ம இன்னோவேட்டிவாக இருக்குது. முக்கியமாக யூ அட்ராக்டட் a lot of organic PR.
ஆமாம்.
அதுலேயும் வைஸில் இருந்து வந்து ஸ்ட்ரீட் ஃபுட் ஐகான்ஸில் உங்களை ஃபீச்சர் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஏஷியா பசிஃபிக்லேயே நீங்கள் தான் முதல்ல ஃபீச்சரான ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரீட் ஃபுட். இந்த மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜிஸை கொஞ்சம் நம்ம கொஞ்சம் டீப் டைவ் பண்ணலாமா? ஹவு டிட் யூ ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் that this was the marketing strategy that you had to follow? இல்லைனா அதுவாக நடந்ததா?
99.99% சொல்கிறேன் நான், I didn't plan for anything. Okay, because you do good work, the work will speak for itself. நீங்கள் வந்து you don't have to like போயிட்டு ஊர் முழுக்க you don't have to blow the trumpet and நான் இது பண்ணுறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நீங்கள் உங்கள் வேலை குவைட்டாக பண்ணுங்கள். Automatically the word will spread and it will spread faster. So that's what we have always believed in, because especially for food marketing is not something that will work. Again, I'll tell you, one of my principles is, if someone's coming to you, if you're offering discounts, இப்போ நீங்கள் வரீங்க, இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இஃப் he says Iyer Idly போகிறேன், நான் 20% டிஸ்கவுண்ட் கொடுக்குறான், 30% டிஸ்கவுண்ட் கொடுக்குறான்னா, the minute a customer starts coming to you for discount, that day you have failed as a restaurant. People should come to you for the food. People should not come to you for any sort of marketing strategies or promotion. Buy one get one free, 10 idli வாங்கினா 2 idli free, 10 idli வாங்கினா 1 vada free. If you start doing all of that, right, that day you have failed as a restaurant in itself. People should come to you for what you're good at. People should come to you because you're good in making food. So that should be your fundamental focus, and that has been my focus also. Right. So I don't believe in any sort of marketing strategies or see, people come, I share my stories with people. That is only form of marketing that I do. But I'm speaking to you, I'm sharing my experiences with you. This is a form of marketing, that's all. Right. But none of, like I don't believe in paid promotions or calling people, like getting that advertisement, because I know that will not last long. நீங்க marketing பண்ணி நீங்க எவ்வளோ பண்ணாலும், if you are not offering good food, the customer can find out at the very first instance itself. So no amount of promotion is going to compensate for that. So keep your business model simple, focus on your fundamentals, focus on your principles. The work will speak for itself. Ade automatically multiply it. So you don't have to put an effort, you just have to sit there and enjoy the growth.
Right. I've told this from the beginning. People don't follow you. People follow your work.
Exactly.
So better the work, better the reach.
And simple things, right? See, once you become an entrepreneur, like knowingly or unknowingly, you become a role model for others. Every action of yours, every word you speak is closely followed by people. நீங்க நம்ப மாட்டீங்க, people actually idolize you. இப்போ நீங்கள் சுதர்சன் கணபதின்னு சொல்கிறீங்க, you have 374K, 375K followers on Instagram, in that crowd there are people who idolize you. They look forward to everything that you do. you become a role model to others directly or indirectly. So every action of yours, someone's watching.
Right.
So you have to be careful in every step that you take. You know, like in every step that you ஒரு படி எடுத்து வைக்கிறீங்கன்னா, there are 100 people watching you, there are 100 people looking to learn from you, there are 100 people looking to get inspired from you.
Right.
So you have to be careful about that. So நீங்க வந்துட்டு, I always believe in one thing: when someone approaches you for help, when someone approaches you for guidance, never turn them down. ஸோ எங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, we don't believe in a concept called a secret recipe. எங்களுது எல்லாமே ஓப்பன் கிச்சன் தான். People can come, people can just walk inside, people can see how we do. Now we are very happy to show. எவ்வளோ பேர் நார்த் இந்தியாவிலேருந்து வருவாங்க தெரியுமா? மகாராஷ்டிராலேருந்து, யூபிலேருந்து, கல்கட்டாலேருந்து எல்லாம் வருவாங்க. வந்துட்டு they get so fascinated with the way we make idlis on a large scale. ஒரு நாளைக்கு 2,000-3,000-4,000 இட்லி வைப்போம். People get so fascinated by it, they want to see. I am very welcoming. வந்து பாருங்க. உங்களுக்கு இதே மாதிரி ஊரில் போய் தொடங்கினா சந்தோஷமாக போய் தொடங்குங்க. எனக்கு வந்து ஐயோ இது என் சீக்ரெட்டு, நான் காம்படிஷன்னு, உங்களுக்கு ஸ்ட்ரேட் சீக்ரெட்டு சொல்ல மாட்டேன் அப்படிலாம் எதுவும் கிடையாது. பிகாஸ் ஃபுட் இஸ் அ ஃபண்டமெண்டல் ரைட். எவ்ரிபடி ஷுட் கெட் ஆக்சஸ் டு குட் ஃபுட், குட் குவாலிட்டி ஃபுட், irrespective of what your background. யாராக வேணா இருங்க, மேல் ஜாதி, கீழ் ஜாதி, your income, economic status, none of it matters when it comes to food, because food is a fundamental right. Everybody should get good food. When you're going to bed at night, you should go with your stomach full. You should not go hungry. Something that I very, very strongly believe in. Even in terms of pricing also, for almost for like 7+ years, we didn't change our prices. Why? Because we want everyone to get benefited by that, right?
Right.
ஸோ நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு there's no point நீ வந்துட்டு ஒரு இட்லி 25 ரூபாய் 30 ரூபாய்க்கு வித்துட்டு, it's not going to help anybody. So when you're giving good food, quality food, make it affordable.
Okay.
See, as a business, you will make profits from volumes. Any which ways உங்க profit வந்து வால்யூம்ஸில் வரும். So make it affordable so that everyone can afford.
Right.
Someone who comes in an auto, someone who comes in an Audi car, anyone, யாராக வேணா இருக்கட்டும், they should be able to afford your food.
Right.
And வந்துட்டு your product should not be a niche product. It should not be only to a certain class of people. இந்த ஃபுட்டில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, your target market is the entire world. சின்ன 8 மாத குழந்தையும் சரி, 90 வயசானவங்களும் சரி, that's your entire target market. So you have such a huge opportunity. Your market is very big. So make use of that opportunity. Right. The minute you start failing is when people start looking out for options. So don't fail. Don't give an opportunity for others to go for your customers to go elsewhere. Then you will definitely grow. And நீங்கள் மார்க்கெட்டிங் வந்துட்டு, யூ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் டு டூ சம்திங் பிக் ஃபேன்சி அண்ட் எவ்ரி திங். ஃபோக்கஸ் ஆன் யுவர் பிஸ்னஸ். தட் இஸ் த பிக்கெஸ்ட் மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி. நீங்கள் பண்ணுற பிஸ்னஸை ஒழுங்காக பண்ணுங்கள், பண்ணுற ப்ராடக்ட்டை ஒழுங்காக பண்ணுங்கள். தட் இஸ் ஒரு பிக்கெஸ்ட் மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி. நோ அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் அதர் மார்க்கெட்டிங் கிமிக்ஸ் ஆர் ஆட்ஸ் எனிதிங் வில் காம்பன்சேட் ஃபார். நீங்கள் ப்ராடக்ட் நல்லா பண்ணாமல் யூ டூ ஆல் அதர் திங்ஸ், யூ வில் ஃபெயில். There's no point. It defeats the whole purpose.
Exactly.
Whereas you just focus on your product, you don't do any sort of marketing, you will still grow.
Right.
That's what I want people to understand more, because நம்ம வந்து இப்போ இந்த ஏரா ஆஃப் சோஷியல் மீடியா வந்து we often get carried away. இவ்வளோ ஆட்ஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க, இவ்வளோ ப்ரொமோஷன்ஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க, கூகுள் ஆட்ஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க, இன்ஸ்டாகிராம் ஆட்ஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க, மெட்டா ஆட்ஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. People do all that, but the amount of effort you are spending on those ads, invest that time in focusing on your product, in developing your product, or in like improving your product. That will bring wonders to you. I want people to understand that more.
Beautiful.
அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க அதே மாதிரி you try to copy it. It may work for them, but it may not work for you. So you create an identity for yourself. So you just focus on what you're good at. போதும்.
Now Gary Vee beautifully puts this. என்னன்னா, if you have a bad product and if you try to market it, people will know that you have a bad product very fast.
Exactly. அதான். So நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு instead of spending time on promotions and marketing, just focus on getting the product better. Product improve பண்ணாலே that nothing like it. That's the answer to all your problems.
Most people who work with you are blue collar. நிறைய படிக்கல, அவங்க they don't come from big backgrounds. How do you build a system with proper blue collar employees?
My first and foremost rule is I don't have people who work for me. I have people who work with me. So all this I learned from the corporate. Okay, corporate has taught me a lot. So நீங்க grow ஆகணும்னா, you have to empower the people who are with you. Only then you will be able to grow. If you keep them as employees only, they will remain as employees for the rest of their life. அவங்க பண்ற வேலையை தான் அவங்க பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. If you want to grow, you have to put someone else in your position from them. So you start giving them, you start empowering them, you start giving them ownership and responsibilities. That will make them feel empowered. Everybody works for money at the end of the day. It's all non-monetary benefits and monetary benefits. But it is these things that have a psychological effect on them as well. இப்போ நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, we are very strict with our timings. We are open from 6:30 to 11:30 in the morning and from 6 to 9 in the evening. When I say 9 in the evening, sharp 9 o'clock நம்ம கடை முடிடுவோம். நீங்கள் 9:01 வந்தால் கூட உங்களுக்கு இட்லி கிடைக்காது உங்களுக்கு. Because my policy is I want my employees to get sufficient rest. காலையில் 11:30 na we shut shop by 11:30. They can go afternoon போயிட்டு நல்லா ரெஸ்ட் எடுத்துட்டு ஈவினிங் ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷாக 5 o'clock வருவாங்க அவங்க வேலைக்கு. ஸோ லிட்டரலி they have 5 hours of break time in the afternoon. திருப்பி 9 o'clock we shut shop in the night. 9 வேலை முடிச்சுட்டு by time they go 9:15 9:20 சாப்பிட்டு படுத்து தூங்கினாங்கன்னா they get a good 7-8 hours of sleep when they come to work the next day. I can obviously நான் வந்து 9 o'clock மூடுற கடை வந்து நான் 10 o'clock 11 o'clock 12 o'clock வரைக்கும் ஓப்பன் பண்ணலாம். I'll get business. But when I do that, what will happen? I'm stretching my employees. And I can't expect him to work till 12 in the night and then come back again at 6 in the morning and expect him to be fresh and productive at 100%.
Right.
That's not going to happen. So for me, I'd rather lose that 1-2 hours of business and keep my employee happy so that he'll stay with me.
Right.
Because attrition is very high everywhere. Correct. If someone's working with you for, let's say, 20,000 rupees salary, if someone offers 21,000 for him, he will definitely move. Because for him, the 1,000 rupees matters a lot. For you, it may not matter as an owner, but for an employee, அவனுக்கு வந்து 1000 ரூபாய் பெரிய விஷயம். நெக்ஸ்ட் டே அவனுக்கு யாராவது 22,000 ரூபாய் கொடுக்குறாங்கன்னா you will jump from there. So to keep hold of employees, right, you have to give them monetary benefits, non-monetary benefits. At the same time, you have to show them the way to grow. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா like I train my employees on customer handling. Small things like when a customer comes, how to speak to them. You know, I train them, I teach them multiple languages because நீங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா like you can't expect people of only one language to come to your shop, right? எல்லா language பேசுறவங்களும் வருவாங்க.
Especially in Bangalore.
Yeah. You have people who speak Tamil, Kannada, Hindi, Malayalam, Telugu, what not. And people come who speak only English. And you have to give that comfortable environment to customers. You can't, if he comes and speaks to you in one language and you respond in a totally different language, he may not understand. So to create that comfort with customers, and I teach, I know like I'm very open of my employees to learn different languages, to learn different skills, problem solving capabilities. Only when you train them with all this, they will grow.
Right.
நீங்கள் வந்து அவங்க எம்ப்ளாயிஸாகவே வச்சுருந்தீங்கன்னா அவங்களும் வளர மாட்டாங்க, உன்னாலே வளர முடியாது. When I said setting the fundamentals right in the business, it includes all of these things. Only then I can focus on the larger picture, expansion, strategy எல்லாம் பேச முடியும். வீட்டில் இருக்கிற பிரச்சனை சால்வ் பண்ணாமல் நான் ஊர் பிரச்சனை சால்வ் பண்ண முடியுமா? Focus on these things. So all these matter a lot. Bonus for employees. So what I do, I take a part from their salary, I invest it in mutual funds. So over a period of time, in 1 year, it will grow. And it goes back to them. And they have that motivation to stay. And I teach them how the stock market works. So that they'll know how much their money has grown.
Right.
You know, you give them food, give them good food, give them a comfortable place to stay, you know, take care of their health. If when someone's யாராவது உடம்பு சரியில்லையா, like give them a day off. They are humans at the end of the day. So take care of all these things. Once you take care of your employees, right, they will be much more productive.
Right.
They will do your job. You don't have to worry about all that. இல்லைனா லைக் யூ ஜஸ்ட் காண்ட் லெட், நீங்கள் வந்துட்டு சரி மேனேஜர் பார்த்துப்பா, ஐயோ மார்க்கெட்டிங் மேனேஜர் பார்த்துப்பா, ஐயோ ப்ரொடக்ஷன் அவன் பார்த்துப்பான், யூ ஜஸ்ட் காண்ட் லெட் இட். If you don't know what's happening in your own kitchen, you will fail miserably.
You're doomed.
You're doomed. Nichama.
No, I like the way you put it. No, your employees don't work for you, they work with you.
Yeah, 100%.
Beautiful. Super. That's
it.